Dollar Haven was a small, unassuming dollar store in our quiet town. Its shelves were filled with affordable trinkets and everyday essentials, but beneath its unpretentious exterior, it held a chilling secret, a true dollar store horror story that defied explanation. One rainy afternoon, with nothing else to do, my friends and I decided to visit Dollar Haven. We had heard whispers of strange occurrences, a haunting presence that seemed to linger among the discount goods. We were determined to uncover the truth. As we entered the store, the bell above the door jingled softly, and we were greeted by the dimly lit aisles. Shelves were crammed with a motley assortment of items, and the flickering fluorescent lights overhead added to the eerie ambience. We began our exploration, our footsteps echoing through the narrow aisles. The air was thick with a strange, musty odor, and a pervasive feeling of unease settled over us. It was as if the store itself were watching. As we browsed the items, we began to hear faint whispers, an eerie, unintelligible murmuring that seemed to come from all directions. We exchanged nervous glances but continued shopping, attributing the sounds to the old building. Our journey led us to the back of the store, where a section of Halloween decorations had been put up for the upcoming holiday. The decorations included plastic skeletons, fake cobwebs, and eerie masks. We chuckled at the macabre displays. Suddenly, the masks on the wall began to sway, their strings moving as if touched by an unseen hand. We froze in place, watching in horror as the masks swung back and forth in a strange, unnatural dance. Panic set in, and we rushed for the exit, but the bell above the door remained eerily still. The door wouldn't budge, as if locked from the inside. The whispers grew louder, more malevolent, as if the store itself were trying to keep us there. Desperation overcame us as we tried to find another way out. The narrow aisles seemed to close in around us, and the shelves shifted and rearranged themselves. It was as if the very walls of Dollar Haven were conspiring against us. Just when we thought we were trapped forever, the store fell silent. The masks on the wall stilled, and the layout returned to normal. The door finally swung open, and we fled from Dollar Haven, vowing never to return. To this day, we can't explain the true horror that lurked within those dollar store aisles, a store that seemed to come alive with supernatural forces, where the past refused to remain buried, and the line between reality and the paranormal blurred in terrifying ways. In a nondescript corner of our quiet town stood a humble dollar store, unnoticed by most. But within its unassuming walls lay a true dollar store horror story that would forever haunt those who dared to enter. One chilly autumn evening, a group of my friends and I decided to pay the dollar store a visit. We had heard unsettling rumors about the store, whispers of eerie occurrences, and inexplicable phenomena that defied explanation. We were determined to uncover the truth. As we entered the store, the jingling of the bell above the door echoed through the narrow aisles. The dimly lit interior was filled with shelves crammed with an eclectic assortment of items, from toys to household goods. Flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows. We began our exploration, our footsteps muffled by the worn-out linoleum floor. An unsettling silence hung in the air, and the merchandise seemed to watch us with an uncanny intensity. It was as if the store itself were alive. As we continued to browse, we noticed something peculiar, the faint sound of whispers, like a soft, unintelligible murmur, drifting through the aisles. We exchanged nervous glances but carried on, dismissing the sounds as figments of our imagination. Our journey led us to the back of the store, where a Halloween display had been set up for the season. Plastic skeletons dangled from the ceiling, and fake cobwebs covered the shelves. Eerie masks adorned the walls, their empty eye sockets seemingly following us. Suddenly, the masks on the wall began to sway, their strings moving as if manipulated by an unseen hand. We froze in terror, watching as the masks danced an unnatural jig. It was a sight that defied all reason. Panic consumed us, and we rushed toward the exit, but the door wouldn't budge. It was as if it had been locked from the inside. The whispers grew louder, more malevolent, as if the very store itself conspired to keep us trapped. Desperation set in as we searched for another escape route. The narrow aisles seemed to close in around us, the shelves shifting and rearranging themselves. It was as if the store had become a labyrinth designed to ensnare us. Just when we thought we were doomed to remain within its haunted walls forever, the store fell silent. The masks stilled, the layout returned to normal, and the door finally swung open. We fled from the cursed dollar store, vowing never to return. To this day, we can't explain the true horror that lurked within those dollar store aisles. A store that seemed to come alive with supernatural forces, where the past refused to remain buried, and the line between reality and the paranormal blurred in terrifying ways. Pennywise Discounts was a small dollar store tucked away in a corner of our sleepy town, seemingly innocuous. But beneath its unassuming exterior lay a chilling true dollar store horror story that would forever haunt my memories. One drizzly evening, curiosity got the better of me and a few friends, and we decided to explore the enigmatic store. Rumors had swirled about strange occurrences within its narrow aisles. Whispers in the dark, eerie apparitions, and an ominous feeling that lingered long after leaving. We were determined to uncover the truth. As we pushed open the door, a faint jingle from the bell above welcomed us into a dimly lit interior. Shelves were stacked high with a curious assortment of goods, the fading fluorescent lights casting eerie shadows. It felt like a place where time had forgotten to tread. We began our adventure, our footsteps echoing off the creaky linoleum floor. A heavy silence hung in the air, broken only by the occasional rustling of merchandise and the persistent patter of rain on the roof. It was as if the store itself held its breath. As we moved further into the store, we began to hear faint whispers, a soft, haunting murmur that seemed to drift from the shadows. The whispers spoke of forgotten memories and a malevolent presence that dwelled within the store. We brushed them off as mere tricks of our imagination. Our journey led us to the back of the store, where a makeshift Halloween display had been set up. Plastic skeletons dangled from the ceiling, and creepy masks adorned the walls. Their hollow eyes seemed to follow us with an eerie, unwavering gaze. Suddenly, the masks on the wall started to sway, their strings moving as if manipulated by an invisible hand. We froze in place, a shiver running down our spines, as we watched the masks dance in a macabre, unnatural rhythm. Fear gripped us, and we made a mad dash for the exit, but the door refused to budge. It was as if it had been locked from the inside. The whispers grew louder, more malicious, as if the very store itself was conspiring to keep us imprisoned. Desperation took hold as we frantically searched for another way out. The aisles seemed to contort and shift, the shelves rearranging themselves in an eerie, calculated manner. It was as if Pennywise Discounts had become a labyrinth designed to ensnare us. Just when we believed we were doomed to be trapped forever, the store fell silent. The masks ceased their dance, the layout returned to normal, and the door finally swung open. We stumbled out of Pennywise Discounts, vowing never to return. To this day, we cannot fathom the true horror that lurked within those dollar store aisles. A store that seemed to come alive with supernatural forces, where the past refused to remain buried, and the line between reality and the paranormal blurred in terrifying ways.